The massive screen in Earth's Defense Command Center showed three sleek, silver ships approaching the outer edges of the solar system. General Robert Thompson stood with his hands clasped behind his back, watching the vessels with narrow eyes. These weren't the first alien ships humanity had seen, but they were different. They moved with purpose, their formation too perfect to be casual explorers. "Analysis complete, sir," announced Tom Harris, the lead data analyst. His fingers flew across the holographic display as he pulled up multiple windows of information. These matched the design of Galactic Empire scout vessels. Their communication patterns align with what we've intercepted from other sectors. Thompson nodded slowly. Most people would be celebrating Earth's first contact with the mighty Galactic Empire. Instead, the room felt heavy with tension. For the past 5 years, Earth's secret observation posts had been gathering data about the Empire's activities across the galaxy. What they found wasn't promising. "Show me the Proxima Centauri footage again," Thompson ordered. The main screen shifted to display a beautiful blue-green planet, much like Earth. The timestamp showed this was from just 2 years ago. As the recording played, massive Imperial ships descended from orbit. Their diplomatic mission quickly turned into something else entirely. They stripped the planet's resources in less than 6 months, Harris explained, his voice bitter. Left it barely habitable. The native species now work in Imperial mining operations on their own world, all under the banner of protection and development. Thompson turned to face the Emergency Council. 20 representatives from Earth's unified government sat around the circular table, their faces illuminated by the soft blue glow of data screens. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have approximately 72 hours before those scout ships reach our orbit. We need to make a decision." Maria Rodriguez, the council president, stood up. "We've reviewed the data from all 50 observation posts. The pattern is clear. The Empire arrives offering protection and technological advancement. Within months, they begin resource extraction. Within years, the planet is either depleted or turned into an Imperial production facility. But can we really refuse them?" asked Council Member Richard Brown, his voice shaking slightly. "Their fleet numbers in the millions. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours." A quiet laugh came from the corner of the room. Dr. Emma Wright, Earth's lead scientist in quantum physics, stepped forward. "That's where you're wrong, Richard. We've had time to prepare. Project Terraform Shield is ready." She waved her hand, and a new hologram appeared in the center of the room. It showed Earth surrounded by an intricate web of satellites and energy fields. "We can make Earth appear as the most unstable, dangerous, and worthless piece of rock in the galaxy. Their sensors won't be able to penetrate our shield, and what they do see will convince them that approaching would be suicide." Thompson smiled for the first time that day. "And our defense systems? The best they've never seen," Wright replied confidently. "We've reversed-engineered enough of their tech from crashed scout ships to know their weaknesses. Plus, we've developed our own solutions they won't expect." Rodriguez looked around the room, meeting each council member's eyes. "We are facing a choice that will define humanity's future. We can submit, like countless others have, or we can take a stand, not just for ourselves, but for every world that's suffered under Imperial protection." The vote was unanimous. Earth would not just refuse the Empire's inevitable offer, they would ban the entire Empire from their solar system. As the scout ships drew closer, Earth's automated defense systems began broadcasting a simple message in all known galactic languages. "Attention Galactic Empire vessels. You are entering restricted space. Earth and the SOL system are closed to Imperial initiative. Any attempt to violate his restriction will be met with immediate defensive action. This is your own warning." In his private office, Thompson watched the scout ships approach on a smaller screen. "Send the message to our observation posts," he ordered Harris. "Tell them to start spreading the word to other worlds. Earth isn't accepting Empire membership applications. He paused, then added with a slight smile. And let's show them why. Activate Terraform Shield. Let's give these scouts something interesting to report back to their masters. As the shield hummed to life, Earth's appearance in Imperial scans began to change. Where there was once a beautiful blue planet, their sensors now showed a chaotic, storm-racked world surrounded by dangerous gravitational anomalies and radiation fields. The scout ships slowed, then stopped. The first battle in Earth's War of Independence hadn't required a single shot. But Thompson knew this was just the beginning. The real test would come when the Empire decided to find out what humanity was hiding behind their clever deception. Earth was ready. Captain James Walker stood on the observation deck of Earth's newest space station, watching the terraform shield shimmer like a soap bubble around the planet. Most people couldn't see it with their naked eyes, but his enhanced vision implants picked up the subtle distortions in space. It was beautiful, in a dangerous sort of way. Shield status report, he called out to his crew. The station, nicknamed Guardian 1, was the first of 12 planned outposts designed to maintain and protect Earth's new defensive system. All sectors showing green, Captain, replied Lieutenant Kate Mills from her control station. Her fingers danced across multiple screens as she monitored the shield's complex systems. The Empire's scout ships are still hanging back at the edge of the asteroid belt. They've been scanning us for 6 hours straight. Walker smiled. And what are they seeing? Mills pulled up a large holographic display showing Earth from the Empire's perspective. Instead of their beautiful blue world, the image showed a hellish nightmare. Massive storms covered the surface, while fake radiation readings were off the charts. The shield's quantum interference made it appear as if the planet's crust was highly unstable, with frequent massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. If I didn't know better, Mills said with a laugh, I'd think we were looking at the worst vacation spot in the galaxy. The humor was interrupted by a sudden alert. Captain, we've got movement, announced Officer John Peterson from the radar station. 3 more Imperial vessels just dropped out of faster-than-light travel. These are diplomatic ships, based on their configurations. Walker straightened his uniform. This was what they had been waiting for. The Empire never took rejection well, and their next move was always to send in the smooth talkers. Launch probe drones, he ordered. Let's get a closer look at our visitors. Dozens of small, autonomous drones shot out from the station, their advanced stealth systems making them nearly invisible. The images they sent back showed elaborate vessels decorated with the Empire's symbol, a stylized galaxy with a crown above it. They're broadcasting on all frequencies, Mills reported. They're requesting permission to approach and establish diplomatic contact. Walker pressed a button on his command console. This is Guardian Station 1 to Imperial vessels. Earth's position remains unchanged. The Sol system is closed to Imperial entry. Please acknowledge and return to your territory. There was a pause before a smooth, practiced voice replied. This is Ambassador Marcus Reed of the Galactic Empire. We mean no harm and wish only to discuss the benefits of joining our peaceful coalition of worlds. Surely we can. Ambassador, Walker interrupted, keeping his voice firm but polite. Our sensors detect your ships are still advancing. Any further approach will be considered a hostile action. The Imperial ships continued forward. Walker nodded to Mills. Show them what happens when they don't listen. Mills activated one of the shield's defensive features. A pulse of energy shot out, completely harmless, but impressive to watch. When it reached the Imperial ships, their engines suddenly cut out, leaving them drifting in space. What did you do to our ships? The ambassador's voice had lost some of its smoothness. A simple demonstration, Walker replied. Your engines will restart in approximately 10 minutes, giving you plenty of time to reconsider your course. The next response won't be so gentle. The station's crew watched as the Imperial ships hung motionless in space. When their engines finally restarted, they wasted no time in turning around and rejoining their scout vessels at a safer distance. "Well done, everyone," Walker said to his crew. "But stay alert. This is just the beginning." In his private quarters later that day, Walker reviewed the sensor logs. The Empire's ships had been scanning them constantly, trying to figure out how Earth's technology worked. They wouldn't find anything useful. The shield's quantum nature meant that every scan showed different readings, making it impossible to map or understand from the outside. "Computer," he called out, "send my daily report to General Thompson. Tell him Phase 2 was successful. The Empire now knows we can back up our warnings with action." As he looked out his window at Earth, peaceful behind its protective barrier, Walker couldn't help but feel proud. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment, developing technologies in secret while the rest of the galaxy thought they were just another primitive world. The Empire was about to learn that some planets weren't meant to be conquered. The Imperial flagship Star Crown emerged from hyperspace at the edge of the solar system, its massive form dwarfing the scout ships that had been monitoring Earth. On its bridge, Ambassador Marcus Reed watched his home planet's false image with a mixture of curiosity and concern. After serving the Empire for 20 years, he had never seen anything quite like this. "Fascinating deception," he muttered, studying the readings. "They've somehow made paradise look like hell." Behind him, Imperial Admiral Banks cleared his throat. "Are you certain you wish to proceed with this mission, Ambassador? These Earthers have shown unexpected capabilities." Reed smiled. As a human from one of the first worlds conquered by the Empire, he had been chosen specifically for this task. "They'll listen to one of their own kind. They just need to understand the benefits of Imperial protection." But deep inside, doubt gnawed at him. The reports from the scout ships showed technology far beyond what a primitive world should possess. Earth should have been an easy addition to the Empire. Instead, it had become a puzzle that needed solving. "Approaching broadcast range," announced the communications officer. "Guardian Station 1 is already tracking us." Reed straightened his Imperial uniform, its perfect white fabric gleaming under the bridge lights. "Open a channel." The screen flickered to life, showing Captain Walker's face. The Earth officer's expression remained neutral, but his eyes were alert and watchful. "This is Ambassador Marcus Reed of the Galactic Empire. I request permission to shuttle down to Earth for direct negotiations. As you can see, I am human, like you. I come to share the truth about Imperial membership." Walker's response was immediate. "Permission denied, Ambassador. However, we will share some truth of our own." The screen split, and Reed's blood ran cold. On one side was footage of his own homeworld, once green and beautiful like Earth. The other side showed it now, stripped of resources, its people working in massive mining operations. More images followed, planet after planet, all showing the same pattern of exploitation. "We've been watching," Walker continued. "Hidden observation posts throughout the galaxy. We know what Imperial protection really means." Reed's hands gripped the command console. These weren't selective images or propaganda. He recognized every world, every operation. He had helped bring some of them into the Empire himself, truly believing he was helping them advance. "It's not that simple," he argued, but his voice lacked its usual confidence. "The Empire brings stability, technology, advancement. And how has that worked out for your own people, Ambassador?" Walker's question cut deep. "We have footage of your world from before. Would you like to see what it looks like now?" Reed waved his hand, signaling the communications officer to cut the feed. He needed time to think. Everything he had believed about his role, about the Empire's mission, was being challenged. Admiral Banks stepped forward. "Their defiance cannot be tolerated. We should call in the battle fleet and—" "No," Reed interrupted. "First, I need to verify something." He turned to his private console and began accessing Imperial records, looking at the before and after data of worlds under Imperial protection. Hours passed as he dug deeper, finding patterns he had never noticed, or perhaps had chosen not to see. Finally, he looked up at the main screen, where Earth floated behind its clever disguise. These people had done more than just protect themselves. They had gathered evidence, prepared defenses, and now they were showing him the truth about the empire he served. In his quarters that night, Reed drafted 2 messages. The first was to Imperial Command, officially reporting that Earth was too dangerous and unstable for Imperial involvement. The second, encrypted with codes from his homeworld that the Empire had never cracked, was addressed to Earth's Defense Command. It began, "There are others who want to resist. If you're willing to share your shield technology, I can tell you where to find them." The game was about to change, and Marcus Reed had chosen his side. Red alert sirens blared through Guardian Station 1 as Captain Walker rushed to the command center. The holographic display showed 15 Imperial warships dropping out of hyperspace, their weapons already charging. "So much for diplomatic solutions," Walker muttered. "Battle stations, all personnel to emergency positions." Lieutenant Mills' fingers flew across her console. "Shield integrity at 100%. Defense grid online. The Empire's ships are in attack formation." The Imperial fleet's arrival wasn't a surprise. After Ambassador Reed's defection 3 days ago, Earth's leadership had been preparing for this moment. What surprised Walker was how few ships they'd sent. "They're still underestimating us," he said with a grim smile. "Let's show them why that's a mistake." Activate Protocol Thunder. Across Earth's orbital defense network, hidden weapon platforms emerged from their stealth fields. The Empire's sensors suddenly lit up with hundreds of new targets they hadn't detected before. The Imperial fleet's commander wasted no time. "This is Commander Victor Grant of the Imperial Fleet. Your defense of the traitor Reed will not be tolerated. Surrender now or face immediate destruction." Walker didn't bother responding. Instead, he nodded to Officer Peterson. "Let's test their shields." A pulse of concentrated quantum energy shot out from Earth's defense grid. When it hit the lead Imperial ship, their shields flickered but held. However, every system on the vessel suddenly went dark. "Direct hit," Peterson reported. "Their power grid is offline, just like the simulations predicted. Their shield technology can't handle quantum disruption." The remaining Imperial ships opened fire. Massive energy beams struck Earth's shield, creating spectacular light shows, but doing no actual damage. The quantum barrier absorbed their attacks, using the energy to strengthen itself. "Return fire," Walker ordered. "Non-lethal targets only. We're not here to kill anyone." Earth's defense platforms activated in sequence, firing precisely calibrated shots. Each blast was designed to disable rather than destroy. One by one, Imperial ships lost power, their weapons going dark as Earth's quantum pulses disrupted their systems. "Sir," Mills called out, excitement in her voice. "We're picking up transmissions from inside the Imperial ships. Their crews, they're amazed. They've never seen weapons like this before." Walker understood why. The Empire relied on brute force. Massive ships, powerful weapons, overwhelming numbers. Earth had taken a different approach, developing technology that made all that power useless. 3 Imperial ships, seeing half their fleet disabled, turned to retreat. Walker watched them go, knowing they would spread the word. Earth wasn't just resistant, it was untouchable. "Scan the disabled ships," he ordered. "Check for any crew in distress." The reports came back quickly. No casualties, no life support failures. Earth's weapons had shut down their combat systems while leaving essential services running. It was the most humane victory in the history of space warfare. "Incoming transmission from Defense Command," Mills announced. "General Thompson wants to speak with you." Thompson's hologram appeared in the center of the command room. "Excellent work, Captain. Our observers across the galaxy report that news of this battle is already spreading. The Empire's reputation for invincibility just took its first major hit. What about the disabled ships, sir? Give them 24 hours. Their systems will reboot automatically. By then, they'll have had plenty of time to think about what happened here." Thompson's hologram smiled. Ambassador Reed says this defeat will shake the Empire more than a bloody battle would have. They don't know how to handle an enemy they can't overpower. Walker looked at the disabled Imperial ships floating harmlessly in space. And the other worlds Reed told us about. The ones waiting to resist. That's your next mission, Captain. As soon as these Imperial ships clear out, you'll take Guardian Station 1 on a little diplomatic tour. There are a lot of planets interested in learning how Earth stays free. As the command crew began preparing for their new mission, Walker watched Earth rotating peacefully behind its quantum shield. The Empire had just discovered that humanity hadn't spent centuries developing better weapons. They'd developed better solutions. The age of Imperial conquest was ending, not with a bang, but with a quiet display of superior thinking. Admiral Lisa Stone stood on the bridge of Guardian Station 1, now positioned near a planet called Blue Haven. Like Earth, it was a beautiful blue-green world. Unlike Earth, its surface was scarred by massive Imperial mining operations. "They're ready to meet with us," Lieutenant Mills reported, looking up from her communication console. "The Planetary Council is eager, to say the least." Stone understood their excitement. News of Earth's successful defense against the Empire had spread across the galaxy like wildfire. In just 2 weeks, they had received requests for help from 20 different worlds. "Take us into orbit," Stone ordered. "But keep the quantum shields at full power. The Empire still has spies everywhere." As the station moved into position, Stone prepared for her meeting with Blue Haven's leaders. Earth's Defense Command had chosen her for this mission because of her background in both diplomacy and military strategy. They weren't just sharing technology. They were building an alliance. The meeting took place via secure holographic link. Stone faced the projected images of 12 council members, their faces showing a mixture of hope and fear. "Our world was one of the first to join the Empire," Council Leader Alex Turner explained. "They promised us protection and advancement. Instead, they'd stripped our resources and turned our people into slaves in their own minds." Stone nodded. "We've seen this pattern before. That's why we're here. Earth is offering you a choice. The same choice we made. Freedom." She activated a holographic display showing Earth's defensive technology. "This is the Terraform Shield. It's not just a barrier. It's a complete planetary defense system that makes your world appear worthless to Imperial sensors while protecting you from any attack." "But the Empire already has bases here," another council member pointed out. "They have troops on the ground." Stone smiled. "That's the best part. The shield doesn't just protect from space. When activated, it interferes with all Imperial technology within its range. Their weapons, their ships, their communication systems, all useless. They'll have no choice but to evacuate." The council chambers erupted in excited discussion. This was more than they had hoped for. Not just protection, but a way to actually remove the Imperial presence from their world. "There's one condition," Stone continued, her voice turning serious. "Once you're free, you must help others achieve freedom too. Earth isn't building an empire, we're breaking one." The vote was unanimous. Within hours, Earth's engineers began installing the shield technology. Stone watched from orbit as the system came online, its quantum field spreading across Blue Haven like a protective blanket. The Imperial response was immediate and ineffective. Their ground forces found their weapons powerless. Their communications were blocked. Within days, they had no choice but to evacuate, leaving behind a free world. But Stone's mission wasn't over. As she prepared to move Guardian Station 1 to the next planet on their list, she received an urgent message from Earth. Ambassador Reed had new intelligence. "The Empire is losing control," Reed's hologram reported. "3 systems have already declared independence using our shield technology. Their economy is starting to crumble as they lose access to planetary resources. But be careful, cornered animals are the most dangerous." Stone understood the warning. The Empire wouldn't accept defeat easily. They would be developing countermeasures, looking for weaknesses in the shield technology. Let them try, she told her crew as they set course for their next destination. Every world we free makes us stronger. Every person who tastes freedom becomes an ally. In her private log that night, Stone wrote, "Earth didn't just create a shield to protect one planet. We've created hope for an entire galaxy. The Empire built its power through fear and force. We'll break it with something stronger, the desire for freedom." As Guardian Station 1 jumped to its next destination, Stone knew they were part of something historic. The galaxy was changing, not through war or conquest, but through the simple act of saying no to tyranny and showing others they could do the same. General Thompson stood in Earth's Defense Command Center, watching as thousands of Imperial warships emerged from hyperspace. The massive holographic display showed them appearing everywhere, above, below, and around Earth's orbital plane. It was the largest fleet ever assembled in the Empire's history. "They're not here to negotiate this time," Captain Walker said, his hologram flickering beside Thompson. Guardian Station 1 had rushed back to Earth after their early warning systems detected the fleet's approach. Thompson's face remained calm, but his eyes showed concern. "How many?" "Over 5,000 capital ships," Lieutenant Mills reported from her station. "And they're different. New designs we haven't seen before. They've been busy these past few months." The Imperial fleet moved into attack formation, surrounding Earth in a massive sphere. Their new ships bristled with strange technology, clearly designed to counter Earth's quantum shield. "Incoming transmission," Mills announced. It's Grand Admiral Xavier himself. The Imperial leader's image appeared on the main screen, his black uniform decorated with gold symbols of power. "This ends today," he declared. "Your rebellion has cost the Empire trillions. 37 worlds have now deployed your shield technology. No more." Thompson straightened. "You're right about one thing, Admiral. This ends today. But not the way you think." Xavier's face hardened. "We've developed countermeasures for your quantum tricks. Surrender now, or we'll show you what real power looks like." The transmission cut off. Moments later, the Imperial fleet opened fire. But these weren't normal energy weapons. The beams seemed to twist and distort space itself as they approached Earth's shield. "Shield impact in 3 seconds," Mills called out. The command center crew held their breath. The new weapons struck Earth's defensive barrier. For a moment, the quantum shield flickered, its perfect surface showing ripples like a disturbed pond. "Shield holding," Mills reported, relief in her voice. "The Empire's weapons are interesting. They're trying to disrupt our quantum field with their own version, but they don't understand the technology well enough." Thompson allowed himself a small smile. "Of course they don't. They're trying to copy something they've only seen from the outside." "Activate the counterattack." Earth's defense grid powered up, but this time it was different. In the months since their first battle, they had upgraded their systems. As the Imperial fleet continued their barrage, Earth's quantum shield began to pulse. "Energy absorption at maximum," Walker reported. "Ready to redirect." Thompson nodded. "Show them what happens when they give us too much power to work with." The quantum shield suddenly flared bright blue. All the energy from the Imperial attack had been captured, converted, and was now being turned against them. Waves of quantum disruption rolled out from Earth in every direction. Imperial ships began shutting down by the hundreds, then thousands. Their copied quantum technology backfired, making them even more vulnerable to Earth's defenses. The mighty fleet hung powerless in space. But Thompson didn't celebrate yet. Status of the neutral world's observers. "All recording," Mills confirmed. "Every independent planet has representatives watching this battle. They're seeing that even the Empire's full might can't break our shield." "Send the message," Thompson ordered. Throughout the disabled Imperial fleet, every working communication system received the same broadcast. "Your weapons are disabled. Your ships will regain power in 48 hours. You have a choice. Leave now and never return, or stay and join the free worlds." The Empire's time is over. In the following hours, something remarkable happened. Nearly a third of the Imperial fleet's crews requested asylum. They had seen the future, and it wasn't with the Empire. Grand Admiral Xavier's flagship was one of the last to retreat, limping away on auxiliary power. The message was clear. The mightiest fleet in history had failed to crack Earth's defenses. "Send word to Admiral Stone," Thompson said quietly. "Tell her to resume her mission. There are more worlds waiting for freedom." As the Imperial ships disappeared into hyperspace, Earth's quantum shield shimmered peacefully. They had faced the Empire's best attack and proved that intelligence would always triumph over brute force. 1 year after the Empire's failed assault on Earth, the Great Hall of the newly established Free Worlds Alliance buzzed with activity. Representatives from over 200 formerly Imperial worlds gathered in the orbital station that Earth had built specifically for this historic moment. General Thompson, now serving as Earth's primary delegate, stood at the main podium. Beside him, Admiral Stone and Captain Walker represented Earth's defense forces, while Ambassador Reed, once an Imperial loyalist, now a hero of the Revolution, prepared to address his former masters. "The last Imperial stronghold surrendered this morning," Thompson announced to the assembled delegates. "The Empire, as we knew it, has ceased to exist." A wave of cheers swept through the hall. On the massive screens surrounding them, billions of beings on hundreds of worlds watched the proceedings. This wasn't just a meeting. It was the dawn of a new era in galactic history. Reed stepped forward, his white hair now matching his simple civilian suit. "As someone who once believed in the Empire's promises, I stand here humbled. Earth didn't just show us how to resist oppression. They showed us a better way to unite." The screens shifted to show various worlds. Each displayed the same technology that had saved Earth, the quantum shield. But now it served a different purpose. Instead of hiding planets, it protected them while allowing peaceful trade and cultural exchange. "The shields that once hid us now connect us," Stone explained, gesturing to the new network of quantum corridors linking allied worlds. By sharing this technology freely, Earth proved that true strength comes from lifting others up, not pushing them down. Walker activated a holographic display showing the new galactic map. The old Imperial trade routes had been replaced by a web of quantum pathways, each monitored by stations similar to Guardian 1. But these weren't military outposts. They were centers of cultural exchange and scientific cooperation. "We face new challenges," Thompson continued. "Former Imperial worlds need help rebuilding. Ecosystems need restoration. But for the first time, we face these challenges together, as equals." The Assembly turned its attention to the most crucial vote in galactic history, the ratification of the Free Worlds Charter. Its first article read, "No world may claim dominion over another. Each planet's right to self-determination is absolute and protected by all." As the votes were counted, Thompson remembered that first meeting in Earth's Defense Command Center, when they had decided to stand against the Empire. They hadn't just protected Earth, they had sparked a revolution of ideas. "Charter ratified," announced the automated system. "Voting record, unanimous." Reed smiled as he watched his former homeworld's representative cast their vote. "The Empire taught us to fear difference. Earth taught us to embrace it. Each world now stands unique but united." The new alliance wasn't built on military might or economic control. Instead, it was founded on 3 principles: mutual defense, free exchange of knowledge, and respect for planetary sovereignty. The quantum shield technology that Earth had developed became a symbol of these principles, protecting independence while enabling connection. "Let the record show," Thompson declared, "that on this day, we establish not just an alliance, but a promise. Never again will one world claim to rule another. Never again will technology be used to enslave rather than enlighten." As the ceremony concluded, Thompson found himself on the observation deck with Stone, Walker, and Reed. Earth shimmered behind them, its quantum shield now part of the larger network connecting free worlds. Did you ever think, Reed asked, when you first banned the Empire from Earth, that it would end like this? Thompson watched as ships from 100 worlds moved peacefully through the quantum corridors. We didn't set out to change the galaxy. We just decided to protect our home. Everything else. He smiled. That was just humanity showing the galaxy a better way. The quantum shield rippled with peaceful light, no longer hiding Earth but showcasing it, a beacon of freedom in a galaxy that had finally learned to respect the rights of all worlds.